In March, a catastrophic quake rocked coastal Japan, in turn causing a historical tsunami that incapacitated the country for months and crippled its economy for the rest of the year. Online communications were the first to channel out this tragic development, but the image of the message carried through Twitter and Facebook failed to illustrate the extent of the damage. On March the 11th, a 9.0 magnitude earthquake occurred with the epicenter undersea off the east coast 60 kilometers away from the shore. The undersea megathrust caused a 5 to 8 meters of upthrust in a 180 kilometer wide seabed, in turn causing a tsunami. The Japan Meteorological Agency could announce an early warning of the earthquake only 1 minute before the earthquake hit. Following the initial quake, the JMA agency announced another warning that the eastern coast had to brace for impact of the highest scale of tsunami. The height of the wave was expected to be at least 3 meters. Within an hour, up to 9 meters of giant waves collided with the coastal community. Japan had tsunami walls built in, and yet even these walls could not protect them. The resulting tsunami inundated 561 square kilometers of land. Japan's National Police Agency confirmed over tens of thousands of casualties, while this number continued to rise throughout the subsequent rescue and relief efforts to about 15,839 deaths, with 5,950 injured. 3,064 people were reported missing across all 18 prefectures. Over 125,000 buildings were damaged or destroyed. Both the earthquake and tsunami caused severe structural damage to Japan, as roads and railways were affected, causing logistical impossibility to some areas. There were also fires at Cosmo Oil Refinery in Chiba Prefecture, with the refinery producing 220,000 barrels per day. TEPCO, or Tokyo Electricity Power Company's electricity production capacity was immediately halved from 40 gigawatts to 21 gigawatts. Electricity immediately became a problem. As being an island, Japan solely required self-sufficient energy production and consumption. Approximately 4.4 million households in northeastern Japan were cut off from electricity, and 1.5 million households left without access to water. An impressive demonstration of the Japanese spirit in such hard times was that the voluntary reduction of electricity used by consumers because of national capacity had been effected. Though the ground was lower, Japanese hearts were higher. There was one final seed that the earthquake and tsunami had left behind that would affect the generations to come. This seed bore a radioactive fruit. The initial quake has already caused serious damage to TEPCO's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant located 65 kilometers south of Sendai. 3 of the plant's 6 reactors, which was operational since 1970 to 1979, were shut down for inspection after the disaster struck. As tsunami hits the plant, flood water swamped the diesel-powered cooling reactor generators, in turn causing the nuclear rods to overheat, evaporating toxic waste. The Japanese government immediately declared an emergency state at the Fukushima Daiichi power plant. Many fear for the worst as the cooling system of the power plant has failed. After hit by an earthquake and tsunami, Japan is faced with another possible nuclear meltdown. The following day, March 12, after rising radiation levels, there was a hydrogen explosion at reactor number 3 and an evacuation order of 20 kilometers around the area with 200,000 people leaving. After several other blasts in the coming days, the authorities managed to stabilize the situation. However, this partial nuclear meltdown has resulted in contaminated seawater being released back into the ecosystem, with any actual results only seen in laboratory calculation computers. The cesium, which has radiated the water, had a half-life of 30 years, while nuclear waste plutonium, detected in minimal amounts on soil and plant around Fukushima, had half-lives of 100,000 years. Nine months after the initial earthquake and tsunami, Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihiko Noda made the announcement at a nuclear task force meeting on December the 16th that the situation at the Fukushima Daiichi power plant was finally under control. Japanese engineers believe that they are able to bring the crippled nuclear plant to a gradual cold shutdown. After a troubled year, the situation finally seems to be under control. However, an off-limits zones 20 kilometers around the Fukushima plant still remains for some time as a monument of the nuclear contamination, the worst to damage Japan since Nagasaki and Hiroshima back during the Second World War.